The Jersey Devil, a creature reported to dwell in the vast New Jersey pinelands, is said to have haunted the area for over 260 years. The creature has been reported by over 2,000 eyewitnesses alone and have been blamed for the closing of schools and factories when sightings of the Jersey Devil were at their peak. The origins of the Jersey Devil are as mysterious as the creature itself, and there are plenty of theories and legends of its birth, but no one really knows for sure. One of the most popular legends states that Mrs. Shrouds of Leeds Point, New Jersey, after finding out she was pregnant again, exclaimed that she wished the child would be the devil. The child was born misshapen and deformed. It was hidden from the public by the ashamed mother. However, on the first stormy night, the child began to flap his arms, and all of a sudden the child's arms turned into wings and it flew out the house through the chimney, never to be seen by the family or anyone again. Other local legends of the Jersey Devil include a story of a young girl who fell in love with a British soldier during the Revolutionary War. The people of Leeds Point cursed the girl. When she gave birth, the child was said to be the devil himself. Some others believe that the birth of the Jersey Devil was punishment from God for the mistreatment of a local minister by the people of Leeds Point. Another popular legend places the birth of the Jersey Devil in Estiville, New Jersey. A Mrs. Leeds, after finding out she was pregnant with her 13th child, shouted, "I hope it's the devil." The child was born with horns, a tail, wings, and a horse-like head. It flew out the door upon birth, and the creature visited Mrs. Leeds on a daily basis, and every single day Mrs. Leeds would tell it to go away. But one day, the creature stopped showing up altogether. Yet another legend states that in 1735, in Burlington, New Jersey, the same Mrs. Leeds went into labor on a stormy night. The legend continues to tell that Mrs. Leeds herself was a witch, and the father of the child was the devil. The child was reportedly born normal, however shortly after birth transformed into this wicked, horrible creature with hooves, a horse-like head, bat wings, and a forked tail. The newly born devil proceeded to attack everyone in the room and then flew up through the chimney, continuing to circle the village and then headed off in the direction of the Pine Barrens, where it now resides today, reportedly. In 1740, a priest was brought in to exorcise the devil from the area for over 100 years, and the creature was not seen again until 1890. As different as all these legends may be, there are several similarities which tie the stories together. All the legends seem to agree that the name Leeds was a part of the birth of the Jersey Devil, be it the mother's name or the birthplace, and most of the legends include the name. Alfred Heston, the historian for Atlantic County, New Jersey, believes that the Jersey Devil could have been born to either the Leeds or the Shrouds family. Mr. Heston discovered that a Daniel Leeds opened land in Great Egg Harbor, New Jersey in 1699, and that the family home was located in Leeds Point. Mr. Heston also discovered that a Samuel Shroud Sr. moved to the Little Egg Harbor, New Jersey in 1735 and lived right across the river from the Leeds family house. Another interesting bit of information ties the Burlington legend in with the other legends. Professor Fred McFadden of Coppin State College, Baltimore, discovered the mentioning of a devil in writings from the Burlington area as early as 1735. Professor McFadden also noted that back in the 1700s, the name Burlington was used to describe the area from the city of the Burlington all the way to the Atlantic Ocean. This would mean that Leeds Point and Estiville, the other reported birthplaces of the Jersey Devil, could have been referred to as the same place indicated in the Burlington legend. The Jersey Devil is not limited to just legends of the creature. However, sightings of the beast have been reported in the Pine Barrens and all surrounding areas since the early 19th century. There are a few documented sightings which still exist from before 1909. However, the ones that did survive are quite compelling. In the early 19th century, Commodore Stephen Decatur, a naval war hero, was testing cannonballs on a firing range when he saw a strange creature flying across the sky. Joseph Bonaparte, former king of Spain and brother of the famous Napoleon Bonaparte, reported seeing the Jersey Devil in Bordentown, New Jersey between 1816 and 1839 while out hunting. In the mid-1840s, a strange creature with a piercing scream and odd hoof-like footprints began to kill livestock in the area around the Pine Barrens. Between 1859 and 1894, the Jersey Devil was sighted numerous times and reportedly carried off a large number of livestock and other small animals in Haddonfield, Bridgeton, Smithville, Long Branch, Brigantine, and Leeds Point. The last reported sighting before the turn of the century was reported by George Sarossi, a prominent businessman while traveling the New York-Jersey border. In 1903, Charles Skinner, author of American Myths and Legends, claimed that the legend of the Jersey Devil had run its course and that the New Jersey would no longer need to worry about it. The people of New Jersey went undisturbed by the creature for nearly 6 years, that is until the week of January 6, 1909. During this week, the Jersey Devil would leave its tracks all over South Jersey and all the way into Philadelphia, and it was seen by well over 1,000 people. It started on a Sunday morning, January 16, 1909, when Thad Cousins of Woodbury, New Jersey, reported seeing a flying creature with glowing eyes flying down the street. In Bristol, Pennsylvania, John McCohen heard and saw the creature on the banks of a canal. Patrol James Sackville fired on the creature as it flew away screaming. E.W. Minister, postmaster for Bristol, also reported seeing a bird-like creature with a horse head. He reported that the creature also had a piercing scream. On Monday morning, the residents of Bristol found strange hoofprints in the snow. 2 local trappers examined the prints and claimed that they had never seen prints like them before. The Lodens of Burlington, New Jersey, found hoofprints in their yard and around their trash, which was partially eaten. Almost every yard in Burlington had strange sets of footprints in them. The prints were up trees, went from roof to roof, and disappeared in the middle of the road and stopped in the middle of the open fields. The same tracks were also found in Columbus, Heading, Kinhora, and Rancocas. A hunt was organized to follow the tracks, but the dogs refused to follow the trail. On Tuesday, the 18th, one of the longest sightings of the Jersey Devil was reported by Mr. and Mrs. Nelson Evans of Gloucester when they were awakened by a strange noise. Upon looking out the window, Mr. Nelson witnessed what he claimed to be the Jersey Devil for a solid 10 minutes. Mr. Evans went on to describe the creature he saw that day. It was about 3.5 feet high, with a head like a collie dog and a face like a horse. It had a long neck with wings about 2 feet long, and its back legs were like those of a crane, and it had a horse's hooves. It walked on its back legs and held up 2 short front legs with paws on them. It didn't use the front legs at all while we were watching. My wife and I were scared, I tell you, but I managed to open the window and say, "Shoo," and it turned around and barked at me and flew away. Shortly after that sighting, 2 professional hunters tracked the Jersey Devil down for a whole 20 miles in Gloucester. The trail that they followed jumped 5 feet fences and went under 8-inch spaces. The same day, a group of people in Camden, New Jersey witnessed the Jersey Devil. Upon spotting the people, the Jersey Devil reportedly barked at them before taking off into the air and flying away. The very next day, Wednesday the 19th, a Burlington police officer and the Reverend John Purcell of Pemberton witnessed the Jersey Devil. Reverend John was quoted as saying, "Never saw anything like that before." Groups of people in Haddonfield found tracks that ended abruptly, and in Collingswood, New Jersey, a group of people watched the Jersey Devil fly off towards Moorestown. Shortly after, near Moorestown, a John Smith of Maple Shade saw the Jersey Devil at the Mount Carmel Cemetery. George Snyder reported seeing the Jersey Devil shortly after Mr. Smith, and their descriptions of the creature were almost identical. Later that night in Riverside, New Jersey, hoofprints were found on rooftops and also, sadly, a dead dog. On Thursday, the 20th, the Jersey Devil was witnessed by the Black Hawk Social Club and also seen by a trolley full of people in Clementon, New Jersey. When local authorities took descriptions of the beast, the eyewitness descriptions matched those of the witnesses from the day before. In Trenton, Councilman F.P. Whedon heard flapping wings coming from outside his home. Upon inspection, he discovered strange hoofprints outside his door. As the day went on, trolley drivers in New Brunswick and Trenton armed themselves to ward off attacks. People in the town of Pittman filled local churches, and all throughout Delaware Valley, farmers were discovering their chickens strewn about the yards, dead and without a mark on them. The West Collingswood Fire Department even went as far as to fire their hoses at the beast. Later that night, Mrs. Serbinski of Camden heard a commotion in her backyard, and upon inspection she discovered the Jersey Devil with her dog in its grasp. Mrs. Serbinski, fearing for her dog's life, began to beat the Jersey Devil with a broom until it dropped her dog and flew off into the night. After hearing the woman scream, her neighbor called the police. 2 officers arrived at her home where over 100 people had gathered. On Friday the 21st, Camden police officer Louis Strayer witnessed the Jersey Devil drinking from his horse's trough. Schools, mills, and factories in the Gloucester and Hainesport were forced to close because no one would leave their homes. A sketch drawn by Officer Merchant of Blackwood, New Jersey, after an encounter with the Jersey Devil matched many eyewitnesses' reports of the creature. After that flurry of sightings, the Jersey Devil was only reported one more time in 1909. However, since then the creature has continued to be sighted by people all over New Jersey. In 1927, a cab driver on his way to Salem suffered a flat tire. Upon stopping to fix the flat, an upright standing creature landed on the roof of his cab. The creature shook the cab violently. The cab driver ran from the scene, and upon his return the creature was nowhere to be seen. In 1953, a Philip Smith reported seeing the Jersey Devil walking down his street. In 1961, a couple was parked in their car along a road in the Pine Barrens when they heard a loud screeching noise outside. Suddenly, the roof of their car smashed down and the screeching sound was now right on top of them. It had landed on top of their car. The couple fled the scene but later returned to witness an unknown creature flying along the tree line, making the same screeching noise. In 1966, the Jersey Devil was to blame for the death of 31 ducks, 3 geese, 4 cats, and 2 dogs at a local farm. One of the dogs was a larger German Shepherd found with its throat ripped out. In 1987, in Vinland, New Jersey, another German Shepherd was found torn apart and the body apparently gnawed upon. The body was located 25 feet from where the dog was chained up. Around the body were strange, unidentifiable tracks that no one could identify. There are several theories as to the identity of the New Jersey Devil. One theory is that the creature is actually a sandhill crane, which used to live in the South until driven out by man. The sandhill crane weighs about 12 pounds and is about 4 feet high and has a wingspan of around 80 inches. The crane normally avoids people, but if confronted will stand and fight. It also has a loud scream which can be heard from a distance. This could explain some screams reported by witnesses. One hole in this theory, however, is that the sandhill crane does not eat meat, which does not explain the killing of livestock. It also does not explain accounts of the creature having a horse-like head, bat-like wings, and a tail. Some experts, like Professor Brauhop, believe that the creature is actually a surviving species of a pterodactyl, a prehistoric flying reptile from the Jurassic period. Supporters of the pterodactyl theory believe that the creature could have survived in an underground cavern. This theory does not seem likely, and there are few caves large enough to support a large enough breeding population of pterodactyl for it to have survived millions of years to present day. There is a small group of people, including Jack F. Boucher, who is the author of Absegami Yesteryear, who believes that the Jersey Devil is, as some legends suggest, a deformed child. These people think that Mrs. Leeds gave birth to a disfigured child who she kept locked away in her house. Mrs. Leeds eventually grew sick and could no longer feed the child any longer. Out of hunger, the child escaped and raided local farms looking for food. Although this would explain the raiding of farms, it would not explain the apparent incredible lifespan of the Jersey Devil. The child would have been 174 years old during the outburst of sightings in 1909, and certainly does not explain accounts of the creature flying. One last and less accepted theory is that the Jersey Devil is the very essence of evil, and a harbinger of war. The Jersey Devil has been sighted before the start of the Civil War, the Spanish-American War, the Vietnam War, and the very first World War in 1939 before the start of World War II. In Mount Holly, New Jersey, citizens were awakened by the noise of hooves on the rooftops. The Jersey Devil was also sighted on December 7, 1941, the day right before Pearl Harbor was bombed. Although no one could be sure exactly what the Jersey Devil is, thousands of sightings would suggest that something very real haunts the New Jersey Pine Barrens.